Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Arbuckle. Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to share with you guys the top 5 PortaFort tips in Fortnite Battle Royale. As most of you guys know by now, the PortaFort has been added into the game and it is so much fun to use. You're actually able to stack up to 5 of them in one inventory slot, and I definitely think it's worth carrying around if you get one. They are very, very clutch, especially when you get near the end of the game. So without further ado, let's jump right into these tips. So the first tip that I have for you is to always throw the PortaFort directly underneath you. I've come across several people in multiple games already that have thrown the PortaFort either way out in front or right in front of them, thinking that, you know, there's a door there, I'll throw it in front, we'll run in the front door, when in reality that might actually hurt you because you're taking time to throw the PortaFort, which gives the enemy a chance to shoot you, and then you have to run to it. You have to go inside, so people are still able to shoot at you. So you need to be able to throw that PortaFort directly underneath you so that it insta-builds a giant metal base around you, and most of the time, almost every time you throw it directly underneath you, it'll launch pad you up, so you have to be ready to move forward and land at the top. If not, you'll just keep bouncing up and down all the tires. So again, throw the PortaFort directly underneath you so that you can avoid as much gunfire as possible. The second tip that I have for you is to start shooting immediately once inside. One of the biggest issues that I have with the PortaFort that I think is fair, because it might be overpowered if they would have done otherwise, but that's that the metal isn't automatically built. The metal starts building in the form of the fort. So it's not like the metal is completely durable. It's still loose and still easy to shoot down. So you want to get to the top and start shooting back at your enemies as soon as you can, because a lot of times people will just start unloading all their bullets on the bottom of the fort and be able to shoot you down fairly quick. So as soon as you throw the fort down, try to get up there and start shooting back as soon as you can to buy yourself time so that your fort can actually get to maximum potential. The third tip that I have for you is to build a floor over the opening at the top to prevent players from coming in and jumping up behind you. A lot of times, and I've done this myself moving in on enemy forts, is I'll go in the door, bounce up, and come up behind people, and they have no idea. So one thing that you can do is you can build a floor at the top there where the opening is, so if anyone comes inside and they hit the tires, they're just going to bounce off the top and come right back down, and there's a chance they might actually hurt themselves. So build a floor there so that no one can come up behind you, and you'll be able to hear them if they hit the tires, giving you extra time to turn around, maybe delete the floor and take out whoever's in your base. That kind of leads me into my fourth tip, which is essentially the same thing, except this time what we're going to do is we're going to put traps at the bottom of the PortaFort. When you put the PortaFort down, obviously you want to shoot enemies, but if you have time, if you have a couple extra spare seconds, maybe you have a teammate that can do it if they have traps, but put traps all around the bottom of the PortaFort. I've seen so many people, because it's brand new, they don't really think about that, right? Like the PortaFort is still this really cool invention in the game, and everybody just wants to go inside and check it out and get involved with it. No one's really thinking about traps being everywhere. And what's nice is that you can put these traps all around the walls, and the tires still stay there. It makes it a little bit more challenging to see the traps, and it doesn't ruin your tires there. So you can still jump up and get up there and have 3 traps around the walls and kill any enemy that steps inside. So place traps at the bottom. One thing that's really cool that you could do that I want to try is to put a floor at the top opening, like I said in the last tip, and then put a spike trap at the top, like right under that floor. So if an enemy comes in and they hit the tire, they launch themselves right up into the trap. I just think that would be hilarious. But yeah, the fourth tip, place traps at the bottom or anywhere towards the top. You'll hit someone if they try to jump up. The fifth and final tip that I have for you guys is to run with the PortaFort out. There's no point in having the PortaFort if you're not going to be ready to spontaneously use it, especially when you get near the end of the game. I can see how at the beginning of the game if you get one, you don't want to waste it early on. But if you're near the end, maybe it's like there's only 10 players left, maybe even 15, I would always run with that thing out. And pay attention, right? Like, you don't want to waste it. Like I said, you don't want to just throw it down for no reason. But if you actually think you're in a situation where you might die, you might end up losing the game, you want to be able to throw that down and save your health as much as you can. So run around with it open while you're jumping around, and if you have to, all you have to do is pull the trigger or whatever. Playing on PC, you just have to hit the keyboard. It's very, very easy. And yeah, so just run around with it open, because you don't want to get stuck trying to press buttons and trying to pull it out and getting shot. So these are the 5 tips. I'll run over them again really quick. The first tip was to throw the PortaFort directly underneath you so that you don't have to worry about getting shot while it's building. Second tip is to start shooting immediately once inside to prevent your base from being shot down. Third tip is to build a floor over the opening to prevent players from jumping up behind you. The fourth tip is to place traps at the bottom of the fort to kill enemies that try to sneak inside. And the fifth and final tip was to run with the PortaFort Out, of course, so you can throw it down as quick as possible. But anyway, guys, that's really the video. If you guys have any more tips, any comments, make sure to leave them down in the comment section below. I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.